Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your support. Today I'll be talking about a very special album. It's an acoustic guitar showcase, all analog, from Birdbox Records in Italy. It's called Two, and the artists are Umberto Fiorentino and Claudio Quartarone. I hope I pronounced their names and didn't massacre them too much. Those are the artists right there. We're going to talk about this amazing project and Birdbox Records in particular, and the man behind Birdbox Records, Lorenzo Vella. He has also created a studio called Nightingale Studios, so we'll talk all about that in just a moment. Before we get started, if you're new and haven't already, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support the channel. If you hit like, subscribe, and notification, you'll get notified as soon as I upload a new video, which is usually twice a week. So thank you so much for doing that. It really does help to grow the channel, and it's much appreciated. So about 3 months ago, I received an email from Lorenzo Vella from Birdbox, introducing his company. And I went to the website and I looked around and I was like, oh my God, this is a perfect topic for my channel. It's an audiophile endeavor for sure. And it uses a lot of vintage technology and all analog recording techniques. I heard some of the music. He sent me a couple of the albums. This one, another one by the same team, and a third one that I will cover in another episode. Birdbox Records was started in 2021 as a vehicle to issue these recordings that were being done at Nightingale Studios. So Nightingale Studios was a passion project for Lorenzo Vella. He is an audiophile, a music lover, a jazz lover, a lover of vintage audio, and particularly vintage tape equipment. And his dream was to create a small intimate studio where musicians could relax and record their music in an all analog fashion. He would serve as the engineer. His dream came true in 2018, and he's produced many beautiful jazz recordings there. He's very proud of this project, and I can't blame him. He's done a beautiful job. If you go on the website, you'll see pictures of the studio and all the vintage tape equipment. It's really quite impressive, and the results speak for themselves. This album was recorded in 2022, released in 2023, and it features 8 compositions by this team. So I don't know if they... I assume that they are written by both of them. It does not say here on the cover. The mixing and mastering engineer is Lorenzo Vella. It's recorded at Nightingale Studios. It's pressed on 180 gram vinyl at Optimal. The vinyl is flat, centered and quiet. It's very, very nice. And it's a beautiful foundation for this music to unfold. When I first heard this record, it reminded me of some of the acoustic guitar albums on Windham Hill or ECM. Like a contemporary acoustic kind of sound. The recording captures the color of these two instruments that are used on this album. Interestingly, they talk about the maker of the instruments. Claudio plays a concert guitar by master luthier Dominico Spada, and Umberto plays a Moffa Maestro by master luthier Nico Moffa. So very special instruments, a very special sound. The sound is quite up close. You hear a lot of the detail in the picking and strumming and chord changing on the guitars. So you hear a lot of those extraneous sounds, which I like particularly, and if you look at the philosophy of Lorenzo Vella, he says that he finds humanity in imperfection. So I think some of this, extra detail, which in some recordings may be cleaned up or wiped out, it's left here, and to me it's beautiful. And I think to Lorenzo Vella, it's also a beautiful thing to hear. Usually one guitarist is in the foreground, one is in the back providing rhythm. When I first played the record, I didn't find like a strong melodies throughout the record. It seemed like just an outpouring of beautiful sound, just continually evolving. In subsequent listens, I heard the differences between each cut, and they are different. Particularly the opening track and the closing track, which I thought were really very, very interesting. The opening track is called Kilo Key, and the closing track, Time No Time. On both of these tracks, there are other sounds. Now, I don't think there are other instruments because there's no other instrumentalists listed on this record. I think everything is played by these two gentlemen. What I guess is that some of the guitar sounds are altered somehow to sound like other things. So in the first cut on the album, it sounds like a pulse, almost like an electronic pulse, but I'm sure it's a guitar. In the later cut, it's like a symphony of sound, and there's so many interesting things going on besides the straightforward guitar sound that you would think that there might be other instruments, but it doesn't seem to be the case. The recorded acoustic is very, very good. You hear ambiance from the studio, just the right amount of reverb and detail, but not accentuated detail. It's lush, tubey sounding, just beautiful, full bandwidth analog recording. And I think audiophiles will love this record. If you like the type of music that was found on, say, Windham Hill or ECM, I think you'll be in love with this. It is a beautiful record, a mood piece that you can have on in the background if you wish, and it'll be a beautiful listen without anything really jarring you. Or you can sit in the sweet spot and absorb all that's going on here, and it's quite a bit, and hear everything that Lorenzo was able to capture on tape of these two magnificent artists. It's really a special album. You can hear it on streaming. It is available on streaming. I do suggest before you order it that you take a listen to it and see what you think. Give it a few listens, let it sink in. It will really speak to your heart after some time. The philosophy of the label is physical media. So they prefer that you listen to these all analog masterpieces on either LP or reel-to-reel tape. They do have, 15-inch, 15 IPS reel-to-reel tapes available as well. I didn't get to hear those, but I did hear this record, and it's beautifully done. The sound is wonderful. It made my system sound excellent, and it was just an enjoyable listen that I've returned to many times since then. I will be looking at another record from the label in the coming weeks. I don't know how long it'll take to get to the second title. I am going to show you the other title that they did together. This is called Anamorphosi. So this is very interesting too because it's a binaural record and all that entails. So Lorenzo Vella should be proud of what he's doing here. He's done a magnificent job on two, and I think you'll enjoy this album immensely. Thank you so much to Birdbox Records for sending these few records to me. And until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.